How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. This is a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. If you don't like that, you can get the fuck out of here. This is Agent Carter Season 2, penultimate episode, A Little Song and Dance. Episode 9 as well. Little Song and Dance. You know, that it's going to be a bit of a fight with Whitney. A little bit of a song and dance is usually what that means. Aside from that, really, you know, it's sort of a generic title, so I don't really have much of a really idea besides that. If you want to see the full length, check it out on the description, check it out on the Patreon. Link is in the description below for $4 a month. I am very excited, so excited. Penultimate episode. I only got one more after this. What the fuck's gonna happen? They're with Jason and everything. Like, is Jason being manipulated by the Zero Matter? Or, in my mind, I thought that was entirely himself, but there could be a thing where he's being manipulated by it. And now with it all in him, could get worse. Very curious to see where Jason's going to go from here. Okay, black and white.
Who turned up? Color.
Okay, so she also as well.
Michael.
Come now, Peggy.
Okay, so she's just dreaming. Gotcha.
A bit more vibrant.
I was wondering if it was like some device they were using on her.
I miss you, Michael.
I'm glad that this spins Michael a lot more as a very important person in your life, which it definitely seemed like it, so. I am honestly glad we're getting this over Steve. Interesting. Such a weird way to start off the episode. Now she's on, like, an acting set. Or is this back at the diner from the first season?
What'll it be?
Hey.
Angie, what are you doing here?
Busting my hump, working a double. What do you want then?
I don't know, Tom.
How about me?
This is so interesting, like getting into Peggy's psychic or into her
No, I'm not.
just getting in her mind. Like,
Better be ready.
Daniel, what are the bloody blue blazes is happening?
You walk in a room
yes.
and nature takes its course, conquers me by force, and with no remorse.
This is amazing.
Baby, I assume that you always knew the recipe. It's simply me and you. What you gonna do? It's up to you.
God, oh, and now it's being stolen back by Angie. I love musicals though, so I am loving this. What do you want, Peggy? What do you want?
Oh, Peggy, I'll always be in your head.
Terrifying. Again, I'm hoping it's serious though. This is amazing!
Now I clearly see it's up to me. Joy or disaster. Your heartbeat faster. Happy ever after.
I love this, like getting a whole musical about her having to choose between the two of them was not at all what I was ever expected. I would have liked to see Sam, Billy, and Rose here as well, though. Oh boy.
Interrupt.
Yes, Mr. Jarvis?
It's time to wake up.
Wake up.
Hey! Hey, here we go.
I'm sorry, you're just not right for the Auerbach Theatrical Agency.
Amazing! Now you really gotta make that choice. And Wilkes is not the right one. He is, aside from everything else about him personally, he is in a whole, you know, different can of worms now. Again, I'm kind of on his side though, but still.
You're just gonna take us back to SSR, right?
I don't think that's what they have in mind. What's the play?
Beat him up.
Trust me.
Not at all.
I mean, Jack's not gonna be able to, but
Good enough.
both physically and I don't think he would. I trust Susan to beat him up more than I trust Jack.
I know you disapprove of my actions.
Your actions? And what actions are those? When you tried to murder Whitney Frost in cold blood?
Hell yeah.
She deserves to die. I will
She
not-
absolutely
Enough, I'm not
does.
listening to this.
I mean,
Get
she
yourself
doesn't,
loose while I
but
find a way
well,
of getting us out of this
she
mess, which
and
is entirely of your making.
I just mainly agree with Jarvis's action at since for him it was perfectly fine for him to do what he did.
Let's get these men back to the SSR. Vernon's gonna want to hear what they have to say.
You're gonna regret this, Jack.
I doubt it.
I do think this is all still part of the plan. They knew this was part of the plan. They're just acting. I always fall for it, but not this time. I won't.
What on earth are you doing? What is that?
This is called the hot wire.
Okay.
Doors open.
Damn. Some more secret spy shit. Love it. I don't know how you don't accidentally have that go off, but
Miss Carter, if we're to be successful, it's important we're able to work together.
yeah.
What are we supposed to do now?
That. Okay. Just I mean, it's not. It's barely moving. It's so slow.
Bloody hell! Are you mad?
To be fair, they might have wanted to wait a little bit longer.
I'm not well.
Hey. Look, if you're gonna puke, do it outside. I just got this car.
You went into the rift. What did you see?
Just blackness.
But we both saw the Isodyne test footage and no one comes back.
Yeah.
Why you?
I don't know.
Other people got sucked up into it. Are his eyes gonna be better now? Have we seen it? Yeah. Okay.
There. You look better already.
I am anything but better.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with the doc on this one, hon. His eyes are okay, but he still looks kavotes to me.
No matter. The doctor needs a lesson in doing what he's told.
Or are they gonna be like, oh, we'll just grab it? Also, maybe Peggy did have a good idea of getting out because they did stop right here and everything, and they would have been fucked if they didn't. So, yeah, it's gonna be like, oh, let's do something to them to make him.
Oh no.
Yeah, but too bad.
What? No. How did this happen?
I have no idea.
He's your man. Deal with him.
Of course. No.
Yeah.
Now.
Yikes.
I'm hot. I got sand in my shorts, and I want to go home. Get back in the car. Shut your mouth. I'll send some guys back. They can't have gotten far. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Why are you still there? Let's go. Back. Come on.
Oh, man, Freddy is such a fascinating character. Again, yeah, he's so quick to like, not aggressive. He's just willing to be like, I'm just gonna take this guy out. I'm just gonna beat this guy to death.
Allow me to clarify that in the future, your opinion on how we proceed is neither wanted nor required. I should have left you at home, but I trusted that you would know how to behave. A mistake I won't make again.
What? Fuck you.
No, but there are so many other mistakes you could make.
What?
I will not apologize for doing the right
Yeah.
thing.
Hell
What
yeah,
did?
Jarvis.
What you did was reckless and selfish. You risked all of our lives for a personal vendetta.
Which is not unlike you risking our lives to fetch a Russian assassin.
Mm-hmm.
You saved Dottie Underwood to assuage your conscience, and my wife, Anna, paid the price.
Yeah.
Leaving Dottie with Whitney Frost would have been tantamount to murder, and unlike you, I'm not a murderer, Mr. Jarvis.
That's the problem.
And yet everyone around you dies.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No,
Glad we're getting to this. That is the problem, Peggy. Not being a murderer does not make you a good person.
Yes, Mr. Jarvis, there is a cost. One that I have paid for 100 times over. Your wife will survive. You can go on in your life knowing nothing of loss. Lucky you.
But I mean, I agree with pretty much everything she said, but at the same time, it doesn't really. It says nothing about you not killing people. It has nothing to do with that.
She can't have children.
But really acting like this is a big loss that he's having.
She needs medical attention.
Oh, she's gonna be getting plenty of medical attention when we get back to the city. All right,
Put his
princess.
gun away.
Chariot awaits.
Idiot. You two have had to get killed too. by Manfredi. Yeah, it's like, that's also the thing, you know. You don't want to kill them, but you know they're going to get killed.
It's called a gamma cannon. These two can repair it.
The hell we will. Let's hear the man out.
So, okay. Is this... Do they know this part of the plan? I don't know.
But then you won't be able to use it on her.
He knows what Vernon really wants. You don't want to work with Whitney. Jack, very smart plan here.
I just want you to know you can absolutely count on me, sir. I'm on your side. 110%.
Samberly, you are the fucking worst. No one even asked. You're immediately like, oh, I'm on your side, Mr. Supremacist Man.
That one as well as can be expected. Still not sure why you had to punch me back there in the
Yeah,
gut.
that was just because he wanted
I
to.
can sell it, Susan.
I was actually going to say that there. I think the only thing that wasn't part of the plan was the punch.
It's a dump.
Waste management facility. No, I know. I just thought it would be a good out-of-the-way spot, you know. But it's dirty and grimy and absolutely beneath a lady like yourself. So.
I love Freddie so much. Such an interesting character. I was not expecting it when he was first introduced. I'm like, here's this classic stereotype. What is going on? I mean, he says he's not safe, but he doesn't know what. He hasn't explained what it is. What's she doing? What's she gonna do?
Agent Carter, you are one resilient...
She's gonna punch him? Okay. Holy shit!
What have you done with Chief Sousa? Where is Chief Thompson?
Piggy!
What?
Are you insane?
What do you think, Carter? We can't kill Vernon. He's an integral part of this operation.
So glad we got to beat the shit out of him. Fuck up. Can we also fire it at Vernon? We're done.
I'm comfortable with that.
Are you?
My job is keeping people safe. If that means using Vernon to take down a lady who kills people with black space scoop,
makes you just as bad as them. That's always the thing of, if we gotta do this, then whatever. No, absolutely not. Makes you just as bad as them.
Can't you talk to her, buy us some more time?
She's gonna want to hear that kind of news in person. I'll go. What? Wouldn't be the first time I sold a load of bowls to a lady.
Kill Jack too. Yo, you know what? Kill Jack too.
So he sent you to deliver bad news. Wise man, Vernon.
Well, actually, I volunteered.
Stupid.
Could have been both. Hard to pass up an opportunity.
He absolutely, Manfredi absolutely hates him because he's
Waste
flirting with her.
management facility.
Joseph, relax.
Yeah. Joseph, relax.
Oh.
You know what I do to guys like you?
Hardly the time for this, Joseph.
Whitney is a fucking player.
You know what? I'm hungry. I'm gonna go grab some supper, and then I'm gonna head home. You can deal with this guy yourself. Yep.
Good on Manfredi. I actually like that he's like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I don't want to deal with this shit. Whitney's being a bitch to me. Fuck this. Don't open the door for him. Whoa. What a piece of shit.
Vern insists on having it up and running before we deliver it.
To impress me.
To ruin you.
Oh,
He plans to use the gamma cannon.
he's switching
Put
sides.
things back the way they were.
Why? What would Jack get out of this?
I have another idea.
Do you?
I deliver the cannon to you, along with Vernon Masters, to do with as you please.
So this is why you volunteered to come here today.
Why, Jack?
You want Vernon's job.
Oh, okay.
I want more.
He just wants the power that she's gonna have as well and everything. He wants their matter.
I want to see it on the council.
Jesus, Jack! Yeah, kill him! Kill! Slit his throat! Kill him! Jack is the worst.
One thing I know we can count on is Vernon doing what's best for Vernon.
Sure, yeah.
Right now, it's getting rid of Whitney Frost.
What we can't count on is Jack. Oh, they stopped our car. Like they
Carter
something.
to Thompson.
They're both in on it, maybe. I mean, well, on this particularly, not on Jack's plan.
What's wrong?
Fuel line's cut.
Vernon.
So I look him dead in his eye, and I say, I don't give a damn if you're Vernon Masters or Harry Truman.
This is a
or
fucking
Tarzan
Key and
Gates.
Peele sketch.
I expect please and thank you.
Chamberlain,
I
we
said-
need your card now.
What happened? Vernon sabotaged us. He's setting up Chief Thompson.
Oh no, he's figured out our plan. What plan? You know, the plan. Ow!
What are you talking about? What plan? Spit it out, Aloysius.
Turning the gamma cannon into a bomb. Bomb? Who told you to do that? Chief Thompson. He said it was your idea. Wasn't it?
I knew Jack was up to
Okay.
something,
He's gonna kill them all.
including Dr. Wilkes.
But that's okay, right? He's evil now.
When will the bomb go off?
It's on a remote trigger. Thompson will blow it once he's clear. What's wrong with him? Why wouldn't he tell us this?
The remote trigger you designed, it's on a radio frequency, correct?
Yes.
Which means you can block it.
I'd have to build a jammer to send out an EM wave.
Do
You
it
build
right
in
now.
3 minutes? An amateur? I can build it in 2.
Dude, go.
Then go.
Where's Miss Carter? Is she located, Whitney Frost?
The case is almost over. It's going very well.
Yeah, I mean, Anna knows, like, Carter can say, like, oh, you can just ignore this, and he wants to try and do that, but Anna knows that's not the good thing. You should be doing what's best for the world.
I am here because you need me.
And that's lovely. But there's a legion of doctors and nurses for me here.
And the world needs you
What
too.
does Peggy have? Only you.
Who's willing to make the hard choices.
I will not debate this with you, Edmund. You must try and render any assistance you can.
Peggy, I don't deserve your help.
You are under the influence of zero matter. You are a good man.
What does that mean? They keep saying it, but nothing about his personality has shown that.
All of it was of my own volition.
Yeah, okay.
That wasn't Zero Man.
Thank God.
That was me.
I thought so, because I was like, what is making them think otherwise? So
I think I
suspicious.
understand everything.
I'm sorry, Vernon. Change your plans.
Oh, he's so shocked.
I didn't think you had it in you.
You really underestimated him.
Something's happening to me. Something cataclysmic. At least here, no one else will get hurt.
I'm not leaving without you.
Maybe, Jason, if you explained at all what is happening and you think is going to happen, maybe we would stop. But that's always the problem with a lot of sci-fi shit like this, is they don't explain what the fuck they're talking about, so...
I'm ready for this to be over.
I mean, it's hard for me to react to it because I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, so... I mean, I know that's the point, it's the mystery, but, like... So you see the cracks all over him. Really cool effect. Try blowing on it.
Carter. Jack.
Oh, the two of them.
What the hell are you doing? I've got the connections.
Your connections are gonna find themselves facing a similar fate, Vernon.
Hell yeah!
I'm remaking the world in my image. I'm starting.
Which is what? I'm so curious, because I might want her to honestly
Why are
win.
you smiling?
Because they got you too, bitch.
No.
No, kill him!
No.
Jason, what are you doing?
No, Dr. Welch, you can't.
Okay, okay. So that's what he meant. I'm just going to explode. That's what he meant! I'm gonna explode! I thought he meant, like, you know, the thing he was talking about earlier, like, you know, oh, I might, you know, go into this other dimension. Like, my mind might pass into this other dimension where I can't come back from. Anyway, not like specifically the zero matter, but like that weird rift that we saw. That's what I thought he was talking about. And, you know, he was just like, oh, if I do that, then it's going to be bad for some reason. And you know, he didn't know why. He just had like a feeling that it would be bad or something. But okay, I mean, if the feeling that he had was, I'm going to explode and all the zero matter I have inside me is going to burst out and kill everybody, that's a very easy thing to say. Okay. We start off this episode with an amazing moment in the MCU. Such a memorable moment. I'm kind of sad that we've gotten this already, because I feel like, what are the chances that we're gonna get another musical like song bit at any point in the MCU? It's just not gonna happen. It's just the only thing I can think I could see it happening in is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the only other thing I could see where they just either break into song like a musical thing for some fucking weird reason. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think I could, it can get away with pretty much anything. It's so wild that anything can happen and I'll be like, alright, I guess this is what we're doing now. It could also just be some fucking alien thing. But I just cannot imagine, Guardians of the Galaxy is, I guess, the closest that it would be. But that's, using pop music, over the scene. Even if a lot of times it is playing through his, Walkman or whatever, it's still different. Nothing is going to live up to the hype of, or not really the hype because it's not like I knew it was coming, but just the amazingness of this musical moment. And I really love musicals, especially way more when it is something like this, where it's not a musical, where you get a musical number in something that isn't a musical. Because it is always, just inherently with musicals, you can, talk about what's going on in the character's head in a much clearer way, like in a way that you can't really do in live action. In animation, it's a lot easier to have the character, think things and have monologues in their head and all that, but that's not really a staple of live action at all. I'd be hard pressed to think of a single live action show where the character has had in monologues inside their head, where it's not like I haven't seen it, but the only kind of show I can think that would do something like that is something like Hannibal, a show where it is like a serial killer sort of thing. That's the only situation in which I could see something, and again, I haven't seen the show, so I have no idea, but that's the only thing I think it could be in. And so musicals allow that. It allows live action to be able to have the characters say what they're thinking, also in a way where you can say what they're thinking very obviously and very flatly without, having there to have to be subtlety or whatever. Because, the character's not actually saying this stuff. They're not even actually, like, thinking it. Like, they're not thinking it that clearly. Peggy kind of seemed to here. But for most of the time, when it's a musical and the character is saying something, like, they're not saying it out loud, it is the internalized, their internalized thoughts coming out. Which is also something that is surprising that I feel like a lot of people don't get with musicals. I feel like I see that a lot of musicals too, of like people saying, is this actually happening? Is this real? Like where, it's like, this is a much clearer example. This is all in her head and everything. But for the most part, I feel like I've never been confused at, if something is real or not in a musical. And I feel like I see that all the time and I don't get it. I don't know. I've never been... Like, there's different circumstances for each one, but I never feel like I've ever been confused. But yeah, so diving into this musical number as Peggy's subconscious right now, as showing us what is going through her mind with all this. First off, I like that we get to see that she has been thinking of it, like, she has been putting it off, like, oh, no, I'm not thinking about it that way, I'm not thinking about it that way, but clearly she is thinking about it in the same way that everybody else is. She has these two suitors, as Jarvis has put it, and she has to choose between them. It is really up to her. She's just kind of trying to let it go with the flow, and whatever happens, happens, but really, for the longest time, she has had to make the decision. She's been putting it off. And also, later on we'll talk about it, but she gets into Jarvis about the whole conversation they have in the desert this episode. But her recklessness and her first off, her recklessness I don't feel like was shown off very much so in this musical at all, but maybe not the recklessness, but the more willingness to go with the flow, the more willingness to just do something as opposed to like thinking out a plan. She's very action heavy. And I think waking up in this, dream state where everything is lacking color, and then she leaves and she goes into the diner, and she's seeing Angie and Jason, and she just sort of like continues to just go along with it and be dragged around by everybody. That's not like reckless is what I was saying. I think it is more her like willingness to just let stuff happen. A lot of time, and not to say that she doesn't push back or anything like that, but in terms of like the greater scheme of things, or view of things. And also, viewing Jason and Sousa as distractions. Much in the same way that, you know, Jarvis goes out here on these adventures, and then he goes home to Anna and everything like that. We have Peggy going out here, you know, not adventures, going out here doing all these dangerous stuff, but then at the end of the day, being able to come back and distract herself with Jason, being able to distract herself with Sousa and all that, being able to keep her mind off of the danger of her, you know, job, and also keeping her mind off of Steve, which, again, we didn't get Steve at all in this musical. We barely got Steve at all this season. The only time they brought up Steve this season, if I can remember correctly, is this episode with Jarvis. And they didn't name him. It was just like obvious that's who she was talking about, which I actually really, really like. Like, I'm glad we brought him up once, because I think that's all we needed. You know, just to say, like, you know, it's not like they're avoiding him or anything. It is specifically, and during the musical number, they probably couldn't get him because of, you know, his actor. But I hope that it's not that. I hope it was more of a, well, I mean, I know it was that because I know that, you know, the MCU and Disney and Marvel would rather have the actor be there and get the people going, oh, Steve's in this episode, and getting the views from that rather than thinking about it, how well it would work from a writing perspective. I always, you know, assume that Marvel and Disney and, you know, the MCU are going to do profit over what is an interesting story. But, you know, I do think that works well in this circumstance here. Well, they couldn't afford Steve, and I'm glad they couldn't afford Steve because it worked so much better that they couldn't. You know, this is supposed to be Peggy getting over Steve. This is supposed to be her moving on, and this has shown that she has. He's not even in her mind at all anymore. The only time she has thought about him in the past, you know, since she's been to LA, has been Jarvis saying, you know, or just not only Jarvis saying something specifically, but you know, trying to make that point that Jarvis has not experienced loss. Yeah, I think there was a great way to do it. Again, with the Michael situation, with you know, her putting so much more emphasis on her brother as the person she cared so much about and was a really pivotal moment in her life rather than Steve. Because season 1 really made it seem like Steve was such a pivotal moment in her life, but really that was her coming down from that, you know. In the grand scheme of her life, Steve is going to be a blip, which is, you know, not that bad. Like, you know, that is healthy. That is a healthy relationship. She lives for a long time. So I think it is, you know, understandable that Steve, in the grand scheme of things, is just a small little blip on her radar, and is probably more of a inspirational figure rather than something she looks back onto as a relationship at this point. For a long time, you know, it was the potential relationship, but I think at this point she's like, you know, she still thinks about Steve as Captain America a lot, but she doesn't really think about Steve as Steve Rogers as much, or really, you know, almost at all anymore. And yeah, I like that, you know, she didn't give a fuck about Howard or Jack either. Like, those are people that are very in her life right now. She's staying in Howard's mansion and doesn't even think about them at all. They don't even cross her mind. Rose is more on her mind than Howard or Jack. I mean, Dooley as well, but Dooley I'm not expecting to be. Dooley, I get it, you know. I mean, Jack, I get it too, but it's nice to see. Howard is the main, like, I'm surprised that, like, they didn't have anything like that, and I'm glad. Fuck Howard. And yeah, no Sam really either, but that should be obvious. Even Dottie made the cut. But yeah, Dottie's gonna be in her mind for a long time. Peggy has a real obsession over Dottie. Now, also, Angie, glad that she got to have a memorable moment here, because, you know, she wasn't in the season at all. We barely even talked about her. I think we mentioned her, like, once. But, yeah, I'm glad that she got to have a big, memorable moment, and something that's probably going to be shared around a lot too, I'm sure. I'm sure this, got a lot of views online, so even if she wasn't really in Season 2 that much, she was in the big thing from Season 2, so that's really cool. And yeah, it seems like by the end of this episode, Peggy has chose Jason, but Jason's probably going to be dead now, so the universe is just not going to let it be. She's going to end up with Sousa, but it does seem like she did pick Jason. I mean, it certainly does seem like she does seem to care way more about Jason than she does Sousa for way less reason. I feel like she has way more logical reason to like Sousa, but, that's not how love works. So I do think that, clearly she likes Jason more. Again, I don't get it, but... what was this? Oh, yeah. Sousa's actor. I'm willing to excuse it, but it was weird seeing that Sousa's actor could walk this whole time. Like, I assumed that they had a crippled actor playing him as well, but I'm pretty certain that there's no way they had this planned back in Season 1. So when they hired him, there's no way that they thought, like, oh, we need somebody that can walk for the big musical number. And to be fair, I don't think you could do the musical number without, Sousa's actor being able to walk. It also makes it a much more, like, magical, out-of-universe feeling, moment. But, and I think that's, that's totally fine. If you need the actor to be, like, John Locke is a fantastic example from Lost, he could not be played by a crippled character. It would not be possible. But, yeah, my thing is, like, did they plan this in Season 1? It really feels like they just, had somebody play, a non-crippled person play Sousa just because in Season 1. But, I can't say if they actually had this plan in Season 1 or not. Who fucking knows? So, I can't really say shit about it. Can't really criticize it. But, it was like, oh, okay. But, who knows if they actually planned it or not. So, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Even though it is Disney and Marvel. But I am still willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Who knows? Who knows? The Hot Wire, it's been a while since we've gotten some, like, cool-ass spy shit. Like, we've gotten plenty of SSR devices and everything, but, like, specifically, like, spy stuff. I feel like we haven't gotten that since the Tushaki things, which I guess we just got again with Werner, but, other than I'm kind of like just the first time we saw it, really. But, yeah, this thing, not really sure how well it works, because, how well it works to keep on you. This seems incredibly dangerous. That seems like it could go off very easily and kill you. Also, I do love the pun of Hot Wire, but, I don't really see how it is, like, it is a pun, sure, but I don't really know how, because it's not like they're hot wiring anything, so, but, yeah. Again, though, the plan, it seemed brash, it seemed reckless, but, if they had waited like I thought, then, clearly they would have gotten killed, or worse, or, whatever, what he wanted to do with them. So, yeah, it probably was the best plan. But again, clearly, like, she wasn't thinking at all either. Like, it worked out, but you could see as Jarvis was, like, berating into her, and, she was like, I guess I didn't really think about, like, we are in the middle of the desert. We're gonna walk, but, like, where are we walking to? We don't have any water. We don't have anything like that. If that truck did not come back for them and they didn't, like, take back it, then they probably would have been fucked, They might have died out there. Who knows? So, yeah, Peggy and Jarvis do make a great pairing, which, it sucks to see them have to argue so much, because they make a really good pairing. Jarvis is, very logical, but also very scatterbrained and very, forgetful and stuff like that. But he does, like, question Peggy a lot, and there's been plenty of times throughout both seasons where he's brought something up and she's been like, oh, good point, I didn't think about that. So, they are really good together, and, yeah, as much as, we also have, like, the miscommunication here with, like, yeah, Jarvis has just been treating this as his kind of, like, adventures, and that's been kind of fucked up. I mentioned that too, where it's, like, it's really, funny to see, but at the same time, it is, like, Jarvis, you might die here, and you've got a wife, and you're lying to her, and, like, that's pretty fucked up. But, at the end of the day, she liked the lie, so, whatever. Yeah, I think now the miscommunication I was saying with the, this specific mission, he is treating very seriously. He wrote his last will and testament and all that. But, he didn't tell her that because it's very, and I get it. I don't think he should. It comes across very whiny almost. If she was like, oh, you just treat this as your adventures. And he's like, but not this one. This one, I wrote down my last will and testament. It would just come off as kind of whiny. It's something that she's gonna just have to figure out later or never figure out. And you just gonna kind of have to, he knows, but it's hard to say. I think the whole thing of Jarvis not knowing loss and then Anna not being able to have a child and all that and putting it on the same level, it's... Again, I think I might be more open to it if it wasn't for the Black Widow stuff. The Black Widow stuff, is such a clear, bad track record with this kind of shit, and I don't know, even now with this, I don't think they did it in a very interesting way. I really think it's only, made the writing of both of the characters worse. Just in the way that it's been handled. And yeah, I honestly would have just preferred the entire plot line to just be cut from the season. I really don't think it has added enough to really, matter. I think Anna was perfectly fine pre-getting shot, and I think I've only liked her less after she has gotten shot. So, honestly, I would prefer that whole plot line to just be taken out of this season, honestly. So yeah, Jarvis's willingness to kill. Do we have to talk more about this? I feel like I've talked about this enough in every reaction I've ever done to the MCU. That, do we need to continue to talk about my, stance on killing and everything like that? Yeah, it's... Only Daredevil is... Again, Daredevil's the only one that I don't want to kill. He is a Christian lawyer. I don't want him to kill. That would kill him inside. But, everybody else, I don't really care when they're that bad of a person, If it was oh, let's kill let's kill all of Manfredi's men, that's different. It's not let's kill all the goons. It's let's kill Whitney, and then with Dottie, it was a lot clearer, Whitney, I get it. Whitney is it is interesting because Peggy doesn't want to kill her, not because Peggy cares about her or thinks that she's not a bad person. Peggy does think that she is the ultimate evil person right now, on top of Werner and her together probably. But Peggy just wants them to be in prison, in jail, which I cannot, agree with. It's the one part of Peggy's character that I'm never going to be able to, side with. And it is interesting, Peggy is probably my favorite character in the SSR SHIELD combined grouping, of both organizations. I do think that Peggy is probably the most good, as a person. Maybe not the character I like the most, but as a person, she's probably the person that I think is the best. The bestest, goodest person. And that is still coming at a level of, well, yeah, but she still does want to just throw these people in prison instead of killing them, so, I can't really side with her. I think all prisons should be abolished. You should not have to put anybody in prison. It should really be they either are killed or they're reformed. If you can't reform them, then why are we even, prison is pointless. Why are we just putting them in a box for no reason? And prison is supposed to be reforming, but it's not. So, if, Whitney could be reformed, sure. Vernon, certainly not. Kill Vernon. Kill Vernon. Jack could probably be reformed, but again, I always jump to the just kill them because I know that the show takes place in a world that has prisons and does not have, a good reform policy. I'm not sure what word I was looking for there, but yeah. Considering the world in which the show is, I know our options are either kill them or put them in prison. So I am always going to be on the vote for kill them over prison. Also because I know I personally would much rather take the be killed than be put in prison. Even if it's a couple months or so. I have always said, please please kill me over putting me in even jail for a couple months. I cannot handle it. I couldn't handle it. I could not handle it. So, yeah, I completely 100% side with Jarvis. Even if I am on Whitney's side, I am siding with Jarvis that it was in his right to kill her, you know, as he did, especially with what she did to his wife and everything. Perfectly acceptable. Jack. Jack is just twist after twist after twist after twist after twist. So, he didn't want a seat on the council. That was just a lie to Whitney to, you know, further get her to trust him, so that way he could peace out and bomb it. And bomb them all. Oh, man. And it's like, sure, do I disagree with that? A little bit, because Jason is there, but at the same time, it's like, if Jason is going to, he knows what's going to happen to him. He clearly does know, because he keeps saying it's, you know, like, I can't remember the exact wording that he was using, but he was, the wording, you know, now in retrospect I can see was talking about this, like, he was saying like it was going to get out or something, or, you know, I can't remember, but, you know, why not say, I feel like I'm going to explode? As I said, I thought he was saying, like, you know, I don't know what's going to happen if I move into this other dimension. Like, you know, if I go into this rift, the rift that we saw when he was, like, you know, incorporeal. I thought that's what he was talking about. Like, if I go into there, I don't know what's going to happen. You know, get me away from people, whatever. But no, it was much more clear than that. He knew, like, get me away from people because I'm going to explode. And so, Whitney, obviously, is probably not going to listen to him. But, like, Peggy would have. So, you know, tell her, you know, even if she's going to be like, oh, no, don't worry, we can still get you help and everything like that. At least you told her. But, yeah, the amount of lying is just, like, making me be like, I don't know, does Jason have ulterior motives? He keeps, his actions and his words are so at odds that I just don't trust him at all. Again, I'm glad that we cleared up that this was all him. This is not the influence of the Zero Matter. And again, I think it might be the same. I'm not saying he's being manipulated by the Zero Matter. I think he himself has some ulterior motives, and I don't know what it is. Like, maybe he is entirely lying to Peggy and Whitney, you know, just acting, so that way he can explode, and he knows, like, when he does do that, he'll be able to reform, more powerful with, like, Whitney's Zero Matter or something, and that's what he really wants. I don't know, but his actions and words are so at odds that it's so hard for me to, you know, figure out what the fuck he is trying to do. And so, like, yeah, Jack blowing up all three, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it at all. You know, well, I mean, because I support Whitney, but I also am totally I understand why all the characters are against her. Like, I am able to see plenty of stuff that they are not able to see. So, you know, I get it, but I don't know. I don't know if I have anything to say about the Jack situation, because I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it. I hate Jack, but that action, I don't know how I feel about. But I'm surprised Jack didn't want to see it on the council. I'm surprised. He really seems like he would be totally up for that. And so, talking about healthy relationships earlier, I really like that Manfredi was able to be like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't need this. You're being so mean to me. You know, I'm trying to do all this for you. I'm being so nice to you, and you are being so fucking mean to me. Fuck this. I'm leaving. Now, Manfredi himself, not a great person. You know, to be fair, we've only ever seen him kill to please Whitney, so who knows? And there was the whole, like, Figueroa Street slaughter, which we don't know what was really going on there. That, again, seemed so confusing. It really seems like it was supposed to be Calvin shot up his men, but that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. So I don't know what the fuck was going on there. Again, maybe they're implying that he killed his own men because he was just in a rage or something, I guess. I don't know. But we haven't seen him be in a rage ever. He's never really, like, raging. He might be angry a couple times, but never, like, raging. Never to the point where he would kill somebody because he's mad. He's always killed somebody in a very matter-of-fact way. Just like, you know, I say kill, he beat the other guy, he didn't kill him, but, you know, still. Yeah, I don't know what, like, it's so weird. I don't know how to feel about Manfredi, because it's like, I don't know, are they trying to, am I supposed to, you know, think that Manfredi is an awful person? Because aside from the people that he's killed to please Whitney, you know, that's still his fault, but it is definitely more of a, like, you know, if he moves away from Whitney, then he can change, and I don't know. His men, though, are fucking useless. Every single one of them are, like, the dumbest sack of bricks we've ever seen in the fucking show. And now, based off this episode, is Whitney's goal not to, like, wreak havoc in general? Like, I thought that's what she was kind of implying, but it seems like it might just be she wants to just kill powerful white men, and that's literally all she wants to do. Which, if that's the case, you know, if she's only going after people like Vernon, then yeah, absolutely, like, you know, fuck it, let it happen. Again, I can't say anything bad about Peggy or them trying to stop her because they don't know. But me personally, I'm rooting fully for Whitney here. Fuck yeah, Whitney. Like, there's not. Last episode I said she was very, you know, villainous, and I do think she is still. But she has, you know, this is what I wanted out of Fisk. Somebody who was, and same with like Manfredi. I feel like Manfredi and Whitney are both better Fisks. or honestly better Fisk and Vanessa together, I guess. Just in terms of the, like, they are people that are willing to kill people. You know, they're that bad. They're willing to kill people who are not quite innocent because they are criminals as well. But, you know, they're willing to kill people who don't deserve to be killed. Meanwhile, they do have legitimately, like, pure motives. You know, they don't have some, like, fucked up end goal or whatever. They do have a, you know, altruistic, morally, I don't know, what word am I trying to look for here? Just like, you know, they're trying to do good in the world. You know, Manfredi, maybe not so much. I think Manfredi are more, like, just tying into the sort of Vanessa role here. But, with Whitney, for sure, I think Whitney definitely is a way more interesting Fisk. Which is probably why I've, like, you know, put her now at the top of my list of favorite villains. Because I think I was so excited for Fisk and very, you know, hyped for Fisk all throughout Season 1. But at the end of Season 1 really kind of tanked his character for me. And especially then throughout Season 2 as well. I like Fisk, but he's definitely nowhere near what I thought he was going to be. So, yeah, really, really enjoying Whitney. Cannot stress enough how much I'm enjoying Whitney. So, Jason saw nothing in the rift. He saw it was all complete darkness, all complete black, nothing he saw at all. How would he come back? Nobody else has come back. He has come back. Why? Whitney also had the Zero Matter. Why was she not chosen? Are we going to get an answer? Or are we not? I don't know. I kind of would want an answer. There's plenty of stuff where I don't really need an answer. But, this one I definitely do. This, I need an answer of why Jason and not Whitney. Because I don't have any, I think, like, most of the time I'm fine with not having answers because I have a pretty good guess. And so I'm fine with, if we don't get an answer, my guess is pretty good. But this, I don't even have a guess as to why he would be chosen, so, over Whitney. So, I really, really want an answer on that next episode. What is the significance of the eyes? You know, that seemed visual for a while, but now I'm like, is there a reason? Is there a significance to the eyes changing color? And like, yeah, talking about his actions and his words being at odds. He says that he wants to, like, he says he's not safe around people. We know that he wants to kill Whitney. He tried to way earlier in the season. So why not try to escape? Like, he could, even especially in the car, he could escape if he wanted to, but, he just doesn't. He just does not. So I said it earlier, but ultimately I do not think that Jason is dead. I think we're going to see him die next episode, but I don't think this explosion is going to kill him. I think it's going to explode him and he'll be in chunks, but alive. And I don't know if he'll be able to reform himself, or if, you know, being in the chunks and, like, with the Zero Matter all out, Whitney might try and, like, get it all up, and if she gets it all inside her, Jason will then die. but I don't think he's dead after the end of this episode. I think we're going to start the next episode with Jason still being alive, and I think more so than just like a quick boom again. I think he's going to survive past the explosion, even if only like for a couple minutes. But yeah, I do think he is dying in this scenario that we're in. You know, he's not leaving this room, I don't think. And I don't know though. Like, he could just have it all, the zero matter taken out of him and then be killed. Like, he could form back together, then have all the zero matter taken out of him somehow. Like, him and Whitney are fighting with it, and then once he's human, he's killed somehow. Potentially. But yeah, he's certainly not, he's definitely 100% not living through this season. Whoa, certainly not. You know, again, I do not trust Marvel, and I do not trust Disney not to have the minority meet a extremely tragic end in the most tropey way possible. And, you know, I to be fair, you know, I'm not saying there's anything inherently wrong with that. I just don't trust them not to do it. It's such a common trope that I know they're gonna do it too. Even something like The Adventure Zone, which is an extremely progressive D&D podcast, you know, has fallen prey to that as well. And, you know, even I have it in my own story and, you know, everything. So it's a thing that a lot of people fall prey to just because it's so common. You see it so much that you emulate it too. But, yeah, that is my main, you know, reason why I'm like, there's no way he's a minority. There's no way he's making it out of this season alive. Well, he's a minority with superpowers, so he's certainly not making it out. He's got to meet a tragic end. 100% though. And Vernon, he better die by the end of this. I'm going to be so pissed if he doesn't die by the end of this, and I know that he's not going to. I'm 99% certain that Vernon is not going to die. Certainly not. Because they're going to throw him in prison, and that's going to be now we got the cathartic ending of Vernon being in prison, and I'm going to be like, so pissed. But I know I have to set my expectations. I know he's going to be thrown in prison, even though, like, again, like, this show has a lot of, you know, willingness to, you know, talk about the messages and themes, like the council of shit that is, you know, plenty prevalent in real life, but then they'll do shit like, you know, we're gonna throw Vernon in the prison, even though in real life he would get out of prison in no time at all, or probably, I mean, like, if we tried to take Vernon to prison, he would almost certainly not get into prison, you know? There's almost no way we'd be able to get Vernon into prison. Are you kidding me? That'd be impossible. If we had physical proof that he killed you know, all these people, if we had mountains and mountains of evidence, it wouldn't matter. If we had a video of Vernon pulling out a gun and shooting it, you know, putting it to somebody's head and shooting it, we still would not be able to get him in prison. There's nothing we can do that's going to be able to get Vernon in prison. So seeing him in prison at the end of this, because I know that's what they're going to do, is not going to be cathartic, because it just feels like a fantasy magical world. And, you know, it's gonna fucking suck to see. But I'm setting my expectations. This episode, honestly, kind of a, you know, I said every episode's been getting better and better and better and better. This one, not so much, I would say. I definitely enjoyed the last one more than this. Not to say this was a bad episode or even my least favorite, but the streak of every single episode being better and better and better and better, I think has stopped with this one. I mean, that said, that we didn't have the amazing musical number, but I don't think that makes up for the rest of the episode being a bit slower. Yeah, I guess I don't have anything else to say about this. You know, how are you guys, you know, I guess maybe wait till the end of, well, no, because I'll have already seen the next episode by the time I see your comments anyway. So, you know, let me know. How did you guys enjoy, you know, Agent Carter? How are you enjoying, Whitney and, Manfredi and stuff? I haven't really gotten any comments about that specifically. I've gotten comments about some other stuff, but, I'm curious about that. You know, how did you guys feel about Whitney? How did you guys feel about Manfredi when you were watching this, for the first time? Especially Manfredi. I'm curious, like, what were you guys feeling from Manfredi? Because, like, yeah, I feel like I'm supposed to think he's, I don't know, though. Don't even know if I'm supposed to think that he's, like, a bad guy. I don't know. I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with him next episode, because he's not even, he left, he wasn't here. He has nothing to do with all this shit, so, I don't know what they're going to do with him, you know, to end off his character. Because it's not like they're going to go after him, right? Like, they don't, like, care. Peggy and them, like, I don't think they really give a shit. So, yeah. I'm probably going to get Howard next episode, too. Probably going to get to see Howard again, which is going to be, you know, nice, but I hope we don't see him until, like, the end of the episode. I don't want him to take up a ton of screen time. I want, you know, Not that I don't want him to take up a ton of screen time, but I don't want him to take away screen time from some of the other characters that I want to get epilogue stuff with too. So, hope he doesn't take up too much take too much away. Yeah, that's it for this one. I'll see you guys for the next one. I fucking loved that musical number. Till the next time, get the fuck out of here.